Hey everybody, I'm back talking about Dark Phoenix spoilers. This is Marco from Safi and Marco Dish Out on the Movies. I come to you every week, every other week with a new movie review or a new topic that I'd like to discuss. And so let's get right into it. Spoiler alert. So first off, we have the sort of new element in this movie, the new character direction for James McAvoy, Professor X, and that is he is the bad guy. I do not think they meant to do like he's the bad guy like a normal bad guy. That sounded really weird. He what it really reminded me of was Civil War. Captain America Civil War, when the mother thinks that Iron Man is a villain because her son died as collateral damage to saving the world and stuff like that. It was really more of a misunderstanding and sort of, I don't know, I felt like it was well earned because this is a character who he's never really had anything challenge him besides Magneto. He's never really been at the head of danger. He's always been sitting behind his desk. He hasn't really done much fighting. He can't because he's in a wheelchair. And so I love how this movie forced him out of his element. He was not able to read anyone's mind. I mean, Jean Grey's mind, the whole movie, almost. And then she goes into his mind at the end, which I love the reverse. How she goes into his mind and how they reconcile their relationship before she sacrifices herself. And speaking of sacrifices, her sacrifice was more meaningful, more heartfelt, and better executed than Iron Man's sacrifice in Endgame. Yes, that's right. I said it. I don't care. Scream at me all you want. I thought this movie as a whole was better than Avengers Endgame, and that's the truth. The action, especially in Endgame, the action was very messy, very CGI heavy. Besides a couple of one-on-one fights, like Captain America fighting himself, wow, whoop-de-doo. In this movie, you have Magneto taking every single gun in this armored train and pointing it at Jessica Chastain and shooting her all at once. That was spectacular. Magneto was badass in this movie. And speaking of badass, Nightcrawler, he he really made me want more from him. Like if they made another X-Men movie with these great actors, I want to see more of him. And the two characters who I did not think got enough were Quicksilver and Cyclops. Quicksilver, he was in the movie and then he was out. He never got a scene where he runs around the room, changes things, and then funny stuff happens where he slows time down and does stuff like an Apocalypse and Days of Future Past. He never gets that. And he also never gets to tell Magneto that he's his son. So that kind of sucks too. Especially since this is supposed to be the final one. And then Cyclops, he doesn't really get many badass moments compared to the other characters. And then Storm, she just sucked in this movie. I'm sorry. Storm sucked. Her character had a couple of cool moments, but the way that she acted, like the tone of her voice, the way that she was so kind of snappy and ugh, kind of bratty, she was not as good as Halle Berry. I mean, Halle Berry's a fantastic actress. I don't even know who is this Storm. I don't know who she is. I don't know what she was thinking when she made the acting decisions. And then there was a really funny scene, which I probably shouldn't have been laughing at, but it was like a comedy skit, and it was natural comedy. It wasn't forced. It wasn't making movie references and then saying that's BS like an Endgame. It was Jean Grey forcing Professor X to walk upstairs, which is hilarious and something I never expected. I, I I don't know why they did that. Did they really think that was dramatic? I guess it could be dramatic. It just did not feel very serious. It was very funny though. I loved that moment. It was a refreshing moment of comedy, but not too much comedy. And the ending was Professor X and Magneto playing chess, or at least starting to play chess. And Magneto tells Professor X he can live on his island with him. I like that scene a lot. It had a very happy sort of music to it. It felt very satisfying, but I just didn't feel like it was the finale of X-Men. I felt like it was rushed and like they would want to do another movie, but they're not allowed to because Disney has taken over, probably going to ruin X-Men now. And so I like the ending, but not in the grand scheme of things. So yeah, everything was really building to the action though. It just like with Endgame, everything was really building to the action, but the stuff along the way was still as interesting as the action because a lot of critics they walked out of this movie from what I've heard, the people that you listen to these reviews, they don't even watch the movies. They walk out of them. They see the test screenings and then don't see the real thing. They pretend that they saw it and didn't really see it. They're cheats. And so they might have walked out not even seeing the best parts of the movie, which was the train sequence. So that's kind of embarrassing for them, in my opinion. I think that everyone should see this movie. And Mystique, even though her stupid line was really stupid, and her acting was kind of bland and boring, I would still recommend this movie. It was fantastic in terms of character. And then also, I'd like to discuss Jessica Chastain. I like the idea of aliens, and they kind of felt like Skrulls to me from the Marvel Comics, the way that they shapeshift a little bit and take human form, but just not interesting enough to where I was really invested in her as a villain. But actually, she's better than Apocalypse. She's more interesting than Apocalypse. She acts better than Apocalypse because Apocalypse was supposed to be a god or whatever, and he was just ugh. I don't even want to talk about X-Men Apocalypse anymore. So yeah, if there's anything else, I'm not really sure. Uh, yeah, I think that might be it. It was very fast paced. A lot of people said it should have been longer. Again, I think that this movie was more just a Jean Grey movie, not an X-Men movie, which it might be the main flaw of the movie, is that it's not enough about X-Men. Magneto, although Magneto's in the movie and he has some really cool moments along with cool music behind him, he doesn't really have much character to him other than he's kind of given up. And so I was kind of disappointed with that, especially since people said he was the best part of the movie. I highly disagree with that. Sophie Turner's way better than him. And so I was disappointed with that. I love the helicopter scene. I was expecting for her to take the helicopter blades and chop all the soldiers' heads off, but I guess that would have led to worse things. So I loved the display of powers between them, the battle between telekinetic powers. That really reminded me of First Class. There were a lot of little callbacks of First Class, of the kitchen, showing the kitchen where Professor X met Raven aka Mystique, and having the Beast be more of a character in this movie. Another thing too, the Beast, he was kind of just meh the whole movie. He had some great action, great actor obviously, but I wish that he had more. And that's what I feel in general about this movie. It was great, but it needs more. I want another sequel. That's what I feel like. I don't feel like this is the end. I feel like this is almost the end. This is like near the end. It's the Rocky 4. It's not the Rocky Balboa, aka Rocky 6. It's not the end for these characters. And so I really hope that they make another one with the good actors, and then keep the script non-MCU. Of course, we all know that's not going to happen, but that's just what I want. I don't want MCU X-Men. I want Fox X-Men. I want something as good as this, if not even better. I want the next X-Men movie to be about the X-Men as a team. And then I don't know. I don't think the Professor X is still gonna be on that island with Magneto by the end of the next one. He definitely should go back to the school, becoming to being a teacher, just leading the X-Men. I felt like that was a bad ending for him. So he's just gonna go off and retire with these other random mutants and Magneto. That's weird. So yeah, I love this movie. I enjoyed it very much. A lot more than other people did. Of course, a lot of the audience reaction actually loved this movie. There are some people who did not like it, and their opinions are just as valid as anyone else's. It's just that people need to see this movie to judge for themselves. I mean, this review that I'm doing, it's worthless. It's worthless. It's just another opinion. People, I'm not doing this to tell you what movies to see. I'm just doing it because it's fun to discuss these movies and to discuss these things that we see on screen, these fun things we all love to see on screen, and to also bring up different opinions about different things, having a different perspective as I do. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this to bully you and tell you, don't see this movie, see this movie, these movies are good, all these movies are bad. I never want to be like that. There's too many critics who are like that. They'll say a lot of things about movies that aren't even true. They'll insert their agendas into these movies and say something like, Dark Phoenix is SJW. No, it's not. And they'll say stuff like that so that they can manipulate you and make you not see these movies. I really feel bad for the people who listen to these critics, because I've missed out on several good movies because I chose to listen to the critics. And movies like Guardians of the Galaxy 2, movies like The Hateful Eight, movies like, I forgot the other one. Bad Times at the El Royale. Yeah, that's the other one. I didn't see those in theaters because I heard they were bad by critics. And then what do you know? I checked them on home video and they're amazing. So, I just wanted to say that. I just wanted to get that off my chest. This movie is fantastic. I love it. I'll see it again and I'll buy the Blu-ray. And I hope everyone else follows my example and just goes and sees it and forms their own opinion. I still don't think that we've had a perfect X-Men movie. I definitely think there's room for improvement, but the cast and the music and the script, they were all pretty good. And I really hope they don't get rid of these amazing, talented people so that they can do some sort of a bland MCU thing with the X-Men. So, goodbye everybody. I'll see you later. My voice was cracked. I'll do the Cobra Kai Season 2 review. I'll be doing, I might see Shaft. Hopefully not Sam Jackson's. And then I'll see Toy Story 4, Child's Play remake is coming up, Bad Times at El Royale, not Bad Time, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, sorry guys. Those new releases like that. Also, we'll be doing top 10 best and worst movies of 2018, not 2019, just for fun. We missed the mark on that, but we're still going to give you those videos like we promised. Goodbye, everybody. I'll see you later.